What is up, levelers? Welcome back to another episode of High Level Chronicles. I'm your host, Chris. As always, I'm here with my partner in High, the legend, the myth, the master of munchies himself, Paul.
Ho, ho,
What's
ho.
up, bro? Ho, ho, ho. Merry
That's the spirit,
Kushmas.
man.
Merry freaking Kushmas, people.
Absolutely. We
I
didn't
am,
talk about dressing up a little bit, but I'm glad that we both had sharing the same wavelength there.
Of course. Yeah, I almost wore my ugly sweater too, but I was just a little too warm
Nah.
in here. And, a little warm in here. So I do got my jingle balls, and my shirt is Jingle My Balls. So,
Hey.
we have a good time jingling.
Yeah.
But I got to say, man, definitely excited about the holiday.
Yeah.
Love this time of year.
I have had a wild December. Went to the Penny Arcade Expo, or PAX, Unplugged. So,
Is that a board game like event?
So PAX is it's a video game conference, but because they had the Unplugged one, this was more board games, which I know isn't something that we talk about a lot, but I am into board games. I see a lot of crossover of board games becoming online, usually like through Steam or something. But had an amazing time there. Absolutely, just one of the most like if you're a nerd about something, this is the spot. There were, I don't even know how many thousands of games like for sale, and I went up with a couple buds, fellow nerds, and we out played a game at one table, and there's just another table there. There's another, just hey, what are you playing? I don't know, like what and just sort of having all that similar kind of interest. There were speakers, there were shows, there were tournaments. I was in a couple tournaments myself. My favorite one was the Uno tournament.
Uno.
Actually got to the finals at Uno, which is and Uno, not a big strategy game, but just kind of bullshitting with a bunch of other people. There's actually a kid at our table, and she was vicious, but I made it to the finals and that was just fun. Just people just kind of fucking around, throwing cards, drop two, drop, like just, I don't know. It was
legit
amazing.
Uno rules?
It was. I actually had to, I've played so many variations. I didn't know what the actual rules were.
Every household has their own rules.
Yeah. So the host was a real firecracker, just sassing people. And this is your mom's Uno. This is, one card if you can't play. And then at the end, the way that they score Uno, which I've never scored before, is it was a group of 8, and then whoever wins gets the points of everyone's remaining cards. So number cards are worth their value. If it has a word on it, draw 2, reverse, skip, 20 points. If you have a wild, it's 50 points. First person at 500. Which I didn't know. But just kind of doing some stuff with friends, and then we break apart to do our own kind of thing, and then we come back together. Great Christmas presents for fellow board game lovers. When I ran into my mentor teacher from 2011 back in my student teaching days, and he was there. And I don't know.
Nice.
I can't recommend it enough. I used to work at conventions doing IT across the country. This one was in Philadelphia, and really recommend it. And
so you spent the weekend in Philly for it, huh?
Yeah, went up Friday morning, came back Saturday night.
All right, so the question everybody wants, did you get a cheesesteak?
Did not get a cheesesteak.
You went to
Baltimore,
Philly and didn't get a cheesesteak?
Got a crab cake.
Jesus.
And Fred's Philadelphia. It's pretty fucking good. But no, I barely, I ate. I went to a very, very, very authentic Chinese restaurant there. And that was some of the best food the Chinese food I had. It was legit. And then they had a market there, and just kind of sat down, but didn't eat much. Just I went the Friday morning. I left a bit hungover. I was at my wife's holiday party the night before, and then had to wake up at 5 o'clock and to get to my friend's house. It was not feeling it, but
right.
Had a great time, man. What's been up with you?
You said Christmas market. You ever been to that German Christmas market down in the harbor in Baltimore?
I don't believe I have.
We went there. I think we went once or twice. Pretty good. It wasn't bad. Like a whole big thing. It's nice to go one time, at least. Check it out. It's expensive, just like anything else. Right on the water.
Yeah. I mean, it's pay for the scenery, the craftsmanship. But the PAX, not Unplugged, kind of regular PAX, is a video game conference. I think that'd be fun to maybe go and shoot an episode there. That might be wild. I don't know where it is or when, but if it's anything like the Unplugged version, it's there were maybe just 15,000 people just walking around, just very inclusive, open-minded, just everyone's on the same page, and it's a lot of fun.
Right on. Well, again, Merry Kushmas, levelers. Merry Christmas to everybody. Hope you're staying cozy, vibing out, properly leveled up for the holidays. We all need it, just like to Thanksgiving, right? Get by with the family. But got to set the mood, man. This is the last episode of the year, bro. I mean, you know what that means? Time to light one up, sit back, relive some of the best favorite moments of High Level Chronicles in 2024. We're going to do a full year recap today. So video games, cannabis, entertainment, some ridiculous stories. It has been a wild ride with our first year here at High Level Chronicles. But first, you know what time it is. It's time to level up. Levelers, we want to know, what are you leveling up on this week? Hit us up, highlevelchronicles.com. Hit us in our DMs on any of your social media at HLC Podcast 420. Tell us what you're smoking, what games you're playing, what shows or movies you've been binging while you're riding that high. Oh, let's start off with you this week, bro. What have you been leveling up on lately?
Yeah, so I picked up some Government Oasis strain, which I think is new from a dispensary out here, and some Grape High AF, this little baby here. And this is true to its word. But also, I've been getting back into Baldur's Gate. I had some sort of system crash where I couldn't get just the last part there, beating the Elder Brain. But something happened. I was able to reconfigure it, get back there, finally beat it, saw the ending, and now I've started the Dark Urge campaign where I was a good guy in the first playthrough, and now I'm coming through and a bit of a murderous psychopath. So we'll see how that goes. And I've been watching some Arcane. Have you heard of that?
Bro, I just started watching it. I'm on like episode 4 or 5 of the first season. I can't remember.
So jealous. I'm so jealous you get to experience it.
Bro, I love it. I didn't think I'd like it. I don't know. I started seeing all the stuff for it and all the awards it won and all the awards it was nominated for. And I was like, let me just check it out. And so one night, it was actually, because, usually, I talk about it here all the time. Me and the wife sit down at night, we watch a show or something. By that time, we're going to bed. I don't have time to watch separate stuff besides the shows we're already watching. But one night I was staying up and she went to bed. I wasn't tired. I don't remember if I fell asleep earlier that day, maybe, and just was not tired, whatever it was. I was like, you know what? Let me just watch one episode, right? 3 episodes later, it was like, damn. And then the soundtrack. So the soundtrack to it, not the soundtrack for the entire series, which is Imagine Dragons, right? That's the Imagine Dragons theme. But one of the very first episodes had a song that was by B. Miller called Playground. And that song is owned, it's a cool story now that you mentioned it. That song is owned by Riot Games. That's League of Legends. So come to find out, I reached out to Riot Games. That song is their own IP, and they allow gamers to use their IP for any reason. So that song is now my stream theme song to open it in my show at the stream.
That's so cool. I mean, Arcane, for those of you that don't know, it's, if you play League of Legends, some of the characters are there, and they have their own backstories. Have you ever played League of Legends?
Yeah, back in the day, I did for a little bit. I'm not a big Moab guy, but I really went out. Just watching the show makes me want to play it again, though. So I played for a bit, but it's one of those I just lost interest in.
And one of the things I really like about games is the lore, and I always just felt like they'd sort of like, this character is from such and such, but I never really, always just wanted a little more, and this show really scratched that itch. It's like a Shakespearean tragedy, voice actors, professional, not just like celebrities. Like, I don't know any of the people voice acting. I think they're
really Haley Steinfeld. You don't know Haley Steinfeld, the singer?
No, I know. I've heard of her. Who does she play?
Vi.
She plays Vi?
Yeah.
That's not. I must have missed that.
Singer, actress. I mean, she's well known. I mean, yeah. The voice actors that they picked, like you said, the voice actors they picked fit the fucking characters so far to a T. Like, perfect fits so far.
Yeah. And so yeah, I don't know what I like most about it. The story, the characters, the music kind of portions they have. It's a real like a lot went into it, and there was a number of years, I think, before the first and second season. I think maybe due to the some of the strike or just the animation itself.
It was
Beautiful.
this.
Yeah. So yeah, I figured that probably played into it, but I highly recommend it. It's one of the best shows
I
I
keep
may have
telling
ever
my wife.
seen.
I keep telling her to watch it. She doesn't like anime or anything like. But this show is just so good. It's so good. The story is so good. Like, dude, everything about the show's great for sure.
Tori and I watched it together.
Nice.
She loved it too. And again, she's not really into like that kind of thing, but
Yeah,
that
Cindy doesn't do games. Like, she's
it's
not a
just
gamer.
such a good production overall.
Yeah. There's a reason why it's been up and won so many awards. So, and like I said, the score, the music, every episode, perfect fit to it. I mean, everything.
First season does a good setting the scene of everything, and second
I'm excited. Like I said, I'm only on episode 4 or 5 of the first season. So
yeah. Sorry, I was
great
a bit. I get very excited about some of the stuff that I've been seeing recently and doing. But
have you seen that show called Secret Level on Prime?
no,
Look it up. Look it up right now. Secret Level, Prime TV. I bet it's going to be something that we need to do an episode on it, I think. I actually just found out about it. It just came out recently this year. I don't know when this year, but it's an anthology series. So every episode is a different story, but it's all video game based. So it's stories about video. There's Warhammer. There's, I don't even remember it, Pac-Man, Mortal Kombat, I think I saw in there. I haven't watched any of them yet, but it's short. It's like, I think 15, 20-minute episodes, and it's all just a short story.
New adult animated anthology series featuring original stories set within worlds of some of the world's most beloved video games. That's really cool.
Dude.
I definitely want to get into that.
And it's an anime. Yeah, I got to start watching it. I just found out about it. So definitely want to add to the list, especially if you liked Arcane. I mean, I'm assuming that's probably not going to live up to Arcane standards, because Arcane is just
a high bar.
It is.
I mean, some of the other good stuff on Prime, like with video games, Vox Machina, The Legend of Vox Machina, which is sort of like a D&D campaign, but animated.
That's the very first episode of this season of that, or of that Secret Level, is Dungeons and Dragons. That's the very first episode.
It sounds like it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I will definitely have to check that out.
Yeah. Add it to the list. Another tick.
How about you, man? What you leveling up on?
Right now, I actually had I have some honey buns still in a joint, but you saw me before the show, before we actually started the show and everything. I got a Black Friday deal. I decided to pick up the freeze pipe, and basically comes out, but you put the whole thing in the freezer. It's glycerin filled and just a smooth hit. So I literally just packed it. You saw my favorite show with Darth Vader OG. Some point during this episode, I'm gonna start hitting that. I'll probably hear very short. Right? Actually, probably that's what I'm gonna do while I'm listening to what any of the levelers say, if there is any this week. I don't know. But anyway, I've been doing that. Work like crazy, but we've been catching up on the latest season of From. We waited for it to finish. I don't know if you watched that. From's amazing. It's on the MGM Plus. And so we've been catching up on it. And actually been playing Marvel Rivals. Love it. Love Marvel Rivals. If you played it at all,
like the fighting game, right?
It's literally an Overwatch 2 reskin. Literally an Overwatch 2 reskin with Marvel characters is exactly what it is. There's a lot more different abilities and stuff within Marvel, right? But dude, it's so fun. Like, to just be, if you like Marvel, especially, to be any Marvel character you want. And actually, man, I've been streaming playing some Chained Together. You ever played that? Chained Together? You should look it up on Steam. I got it. You can play. I think you can play for. I don't know. It's like a 4 or 5. I don't know. It's not much. It's not. It's like one of the shooting. But everybody was doing it. Kai Cenat on his stream. I mean, everybody's been playing it. It's like the Among Us. It was like a little hit. Everybody was playing it. So Chained Together. Been playing that with some randoms. Playing it with randoms, but it sucks because randoms you can't really talk to unless you get them on your Discord. But with other people, it's fun. I've actually been playing with a couple of people that watch the stream, some of the levelers from the streaming world out there. We've been playing some It Takes Two. You ever played that?
No.
You can play it for free.
We have a very different in our game.
These are new games that I've just found recently that I started playing, but it takes two. You can download if how Steam has some games that are on Friend Pass where like if somebody owns it, I own it, you can play it for free. But you can't play it without another person. It takes two people to play the game.
So you can't even play with like an AI or
no,
something?
No, you can't even go and search online for somebody. You have to, like, somebody has to join your lobby and play. Like, so
I kind of like that. Yeah.
It's cool, though. It's cool. I only played it for a few. The story is about your two little dolls, this girl's little dolls that her mom and dad are getting ready to get a divorce, and you're trying to save the marriage. So it's a sweet little thing. Everybody, it's another one of those that was on everything. So, like I said, just playing some random games. Of course, my Dead by Daylight, And I've actually been playing the hell out of Prop Hunt on Call of Duty, dude. I can't get enough of that. Prop Hunt's so fun. You played that at all? Did you ever play it on Fortnite, Prop Hunt?
I played Fortnite a little bit, yeah.
Did you ever play Prop Hunt?
No.
So Prop Hunt's a game mode. So one team are your regular like characters, right, in Call of Duty, your players. The other team, you're a part of the map. You might be a lamppost or like a vehicle, or you don't know what you're going to spawn as, but you have to hide. It's like hide and seek. They have to find you and shoot you and destroy you before the timer runs out. So, but the thing is every like 30 seconds or it's every 30 seconds you whistle. It automatically whistles, so it gives them a clue to where you are. It's fun. It's been fun as hell just to go. It's one of those just chill, just get high. Everybody's high as shit probably playing it. I know I've talked to a lot of people that are just it's just a fun time. It's
that
just
sounds like
yeah,
absolutely.
Fun. But yeah, it's been that. I mean, of course, we pretty much catch up on Christmas movies. I got to watch Chevy Chase. Christmas Vacation, one of the best ones out. What's your favorite Christmas movie?
Oh shit!
I put you on the spot. I put him on the spot, y'all.
I really like Jim Carrey's How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Okay.
What about you?
Christmas Vacation, hands down. That or it would be A Christmas Story. That's probably my old time. Now going back to the kid days, it's the original like Rudolph, like that original Rudolph, like back in the day. The top animation.
No, yeah. I was looking up the other day. I was like, I feel like all the Christmas songs, like top 30 or whatever, were all like written at the same time, and they were. It's all in the 40s and 50s.
Yeah, that's good.
There's some like Christian ones that were a little bit older, but like the beginning of broadcast, radio, and TV, like just pumping out hit after hit. Bing Crosby, Nat King Cole, Judy Garland, coming around the holidays. But
I'm gonna put you on the spot again.
All right.
What's your favorite Christmas song?
I was just asked this.
Oh.
I forgot what I said. Because it kind of goes back and forth, but I really like Santa Claus is Coming to Town, honestly. And like when they like do the rock version.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. So do you like rock and metal?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Do you know who From Ashes to New are? Have you ever heard of them?
From Ashes to what?
From Ashes to New, NEW.
No. Do they have a Christmas album?
No, they don't have a Christmas album, but they just released a Christmas song this season, and it's All I Want for Christmas Is You. The All I Want
from Mariah Carey.
But it's their rock, it's their metal version, dude. I've had that on repeat, like nonstop. But I do have a very favorite Christmas song, and that is DMX, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the DMX version. Yeah.
I feel like I've heard that.
You had to have heard it.
No, that sounds familiar. Of all the remixes and stuff from the 40s and 50s.
So a leveler saying you're a little far back from your mic.
Oh, my bad.
It's hard to hear you. But yeah.
That better?
Probably. Yeah, that sounds better to me. You sound more shit. See, my mic, I'm making it rain. But yeah. Anyway, man, what about our levelers out there? Anybody? Well, they've been leveling up on. We got anything?
Yeah. I got a few people. Got at Altered Scott 84 says, "What's up, fellas? I'm in full Kushmas mode.
Hell yeah!
And I just got around to playing Baldur's Gate 3. And I'm just talking about that, bro. This game is insane. It's like Dungeons and Dragons on steroids. And I may or may not have created a bard who just vibes through every battle by playing his loot, playing it while leveling on some classic Blue Dream makes it even better. That's why I just started on
I
the
love
card.
Blue Dream.
Yeah.
I love Blue Dream.
But yeah. Also at Elite Blout says, "What's good, bros? I've been leveling
What's the
up
name?
LEAT and then capital BALUT. Elite Blout.
Wait, show me. Let me look at this. That is Eat Balut. Do you even know what balut is?
I took that as an L.
Do you know what balut is? Dude, I want to know if anybody's ate balut. Dude, that's like that, it's like a live, like a fucking egg thing. It's like a fertilized duck egg that they boil.
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Okay. So
Anyway,
anyway,
I
what's
eat
balut
balut.
eating? Woo!
What's up? What's good, bros? I have been leveling up on some cinnamon toddy gummies. You know, to feel festive and shit. Well, while rewatching Squid Games and to get ready for the new season dropping tomorrow, I can't wait to play Squid Games mode in Black Ops 6 when it drops.
Shit, yeah, they're coming out with that. Forgot. That comes January, the first week, I think. Squid Games mode.
I haven't seen a lot of promo for the new season, but I do know it was
I've seen it on, if you're on Facebook and follow them, they've been putting it up, but yeah, that'd be it. I'm definitely up for, I love Squid Games. You like the first season? You like Squid Games?
Yeah, really good. We have one more. At Pixeltorium, I have been leveling up on some cherry gelato flower with my new bong I call Betsy. Betsy the Bong. Pairing that with some Marvel Rivals. Loving this game, even though it's just an Overwatch reskin.
What did I fucking say? Everybody says the same thing.
I can finally be one with the universe as Doctor Strange.
Yes, another Marvel Rivals player. Another Marvel Rivals player. I like to play. So far, I've actually. It's funny. Do you know any anime series, like other anime stuff, like actual anime stuff?
I mean, I watched a little bit back in the day, like some Dragon Ball Z.
Have you ever heard of Evangelion? It's a big popular one over in Japan. That's how my whole office is themed. It's that blue and it's the green and purple scheme, and it's the character from there. And you can be Penny Parker in Marvel, and they have the Evangelion skin. So I ran that. I've been running that. But I also really like playing Thor and Captain America and Venom. That's probably, I guess I like my tanks. I've always been a tank main. That's what I've always been. But I'll tell you, man, the funnest character to play, you look up some gameplay, is Jeff. Jeff the Shark.
I saw that. So you were playing that.
Bro, he is
I watched a little bit of that live stream.
Bro, he is so fun to play. He is so fun to play. But yeah, definitely, dude. You gotta get Marvel Rivals. I mean, it's free. It's fun. It's a fun game.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a couple things.
I think it's like 50-some gigs. So be prepared to download it.
Yeah, and I got my external hard drive because I've maxed out games on this computer.
Bet you're running a laptop, right? Yeah. That's even lower. Yeah. All right, y'all. Let's kick off this episode. What do you say? With how it all began. Way back in January. Man, it feels like a lifetime ago, but the very first episode launched January 3rd, and it was titled A Journey Begins. And I never really knew until looking back at the notes to help me with this episode that the title itself speaks volumes for High Level Chronicles. I mean, it's definitely has been a wild journey, and man, I am excited to see where we end up the end of next year. So I started this podcast as a spinoff, so to speak, from my company, High Level Hydro. I wanted to do something to try and get, information out to a broader audience. So I thought, I already own a grow business where we sell everything from seed to harvest. So why not combine, that with my love of video games and start something else? So High Level Chronicles was born. And I actually started off, man, if you listen to the first 8 episodes, I actually did 100% scripted out because I didn't know how else to do it. Podcasting was new to me. Equipment was new to me. Everything was just new. You know what I'm saying? I had no idea what the fuck I was doing besides getting high and talking. That's the only thing I knew was happening. I'm getting high and talking. I know it's recording. I know it's working. I tested it. But yeah, Between episodes 1 through 8, I had a couple guests on too, a couple great guests. So shout out to Cerise Scott from Leafly Lifestyle LLC. She was my very first guest ever on the show. But I found out that the unscripted show with her felt better. But it was impossible pretty much for me to, just find things to ramble about and keep people entertained being a brand new podcast, right? So that's when I decided I wanted to try to get a co-host for the show. Maybe somebody I could just bounce stuff off of, how the show is now. So along came Brian. Brian was a guest prior to actually being the co-host. We kicked off our first episode together with episode 10, which featured a guest who's actually been back a couple times now, Larry Grover, where we talked about the birds and the bees, literally the birds and the bees. Go back and listen to it. That was the beginning of March. I think, the beginning of March. And the very next episode, right after that, we met with another great guy. His name was Franz Tudor, and he had started this new company called a High Nine, which was THC-infused beverages. So, of course, we had to get him on the show and help spread the word because these drinks were made to keep you focused and energized, for those long gaming sessions, workout sessions. His business model, when we were talking back and forth, fit perfect for the show and our core audience, right? Our demographics, everything was perfect for High Nine. So that episode hit, mid-March. And here we are now at the end of the year, and we have become very good friends with Franz and his company, as well as him returning to do another episode and also being a show sponsor since October. So we love you, bro. We can't thank you enough for what you're doing, not just for us, but the entire community as well. But yeah, Brian and I, man, I ain't trying to get all sentimental there, but yeah, definitely been a ride. Brian and I, we're pushing along, and we did episodes like episode 14, High Cinematics. We analyzed cannabis culture in film. You know what I'm saying? Like we will from stoner comedies and cult classics to serious dramas, talking about the war on drugs. We talked about how, cannabis was depicted in so many different ways across the cinematic spectrum. And right after that episode, we followed it up with another guest. And we have since had that guest back. And his name was Matthew Brockmeyer, Humboldt County native, who has some of this most wild fucking stories you'll ever hear. So make sure to go back and listen to that episode. We've had him back with us, me and you. But I got to say, man, one of my favorites with Brian before you came along was episode 19, which was each of our own top 10 video games of all time. And you'll have to go back and watch or listen to that episode and see where everything landed. But I had Grand Theft Auto 5 in there. I had The Last of Us. I think Pac-Man, GoldenEye 007, just to name a few. Then came probably one of the biggest shifts in High Level Chronicles at HLC. Brian had some issues come up that kept him from being able to continue with us. And I was back to square one, finding a new co-host. So I hit the streets and found this little dude named Paul on a street corner. Take me in. Paul was like, please save me from these streets. I just want to get high and talk video games.
Streets are hard.
Do you remember what your first episode was? Putting you on the spot again.
Put it on us again 3 times.
Bro, look, I'm throwing you down. What was our first episode title? Oh man, see, you're too high. You can't even remember it. That's why I have it written down.
I don't remember. No, I don't. I remember. I talked about sort of my background with gaming and cannabis, and sort of like who I was and what I could bring to the show.
That was your little quick synopsis. But the title of the episode was episode 21.
I do remember it was 21.
And that episode was the psychology of gaming. That was our very first episode. Dude, we explored some fascinating aspects of gaming, right? I mean, player motivation and gamification. The impact of gaming on mental health and the therapeutic applications. That's where we started, bro.
You're right. Yeah.
Episode 21.
And the next one.
Dude, the next one. The one right after that.
Honestly,
dude,
my favorite one. My favorite episode. I was like, that's when I was like, oh, this is going to be some good shit. Like,
dude, we had our very first guest together. Dr. Heather Lynn. A historian, author, professor. Man, we came to discuss what ancient civilizations, the occult, the Anunnaki. Bro, that shit was wild, right? I mean, we talked about the history of Baphomet. I mean, the Sumerians, the Anunnaki. We talked about psychedelics and how they were used through history. Bro, it was just a completely fucking eye-opening conversation to have with somebody of that stature. It was just crazy. For the levelers that missed that episode, be sure to go back, check out episode 22, Unveiling Ancient Mysteries was the title. But that episode, I just love that stuff as it is. And of course you do, because you're a history buff. I mean, that's what you taught. So, I mean, but that episode was just great. And that episode made me just want more to know more history. And yeah, it's just been, that was
such a great get.
She was awesome.
And what,
we need to get her back on.
Coming on our show, on a show that just, I had just joined episode 22, and she's just like, yeah, whatever. I hang with you guys for 2 hours, which is probably our longest podcast as well.
I think it was. He was probably between her and Matthew, because Matthew, we can go forever with either of them. I mean, but Heather, Dr. Lynn was just a wealth of knowledge, and she's been on TV, Ancient Aliens. So on the History Channel, I mean, you can't get, that was by far our most famous guest of the year. I should say, I dare to say, by far. We're still waiting on you, Wiz. You know what I'm saying? I guess it's my goal. One day, that's when I know I've made it. But, I think, man, we did episodes on retro gaming. That was a fun one. Retro gaming. We talked about cannabis and music in episode 24, where we talked about, cannabis influenced, various artists, music genres, inspired musical creativity and shaped the cultural landscape. But I think my favorite episode during that particular time frame without a guest, because Dr. Lynn has been my favorite episode with the guest this year. But I think my favorite episode during that particular time frame was probably episode 26. Do you remember what that one was?
Conspiracies.
High Level Conspiracies.
That was a fun one.
That was another crazy one. You know what I'm saying? We talked about Epstein, JFK, MK Ultra. I mean, that was a crazy episode. That was a fun one.
Yeah. I feel like we could do that one several times. Talk about different stuff,
If you actually go back and listen to that episode over, we said we're going to have to do another one because there's just so many different things. There's so much stuff out there. It's what else? We could go on forever about it.
We just had to choose 5. That was probably the hardest part, was narrowing it down to which ones are we going to choose. Next one was the Wake and Bake, episode 27. That was like a real freestyle one where, I know, we sort of talk about different topics beforehand, and I was like, let's just vibe. And that was like a true vibe sesh. It wasn't like we were just we'll talk about. Like, we just kind of went on for a while.
It's funny you brought that up, because it's actually had it in my notes here. I say, we only did one morning Wake and Bake show, and it was just totally fucking random, bro. It was fun as shit, though. You know what I'm saying? And I think we should try and throw in one of those a month on top of our regular episodes. Pick a Saturday morning, do a live Wake and Bake with everybody, with the levelers. Maybe it's something we can bring into 2025 with the podcast.
I'd be down for that.
Something
for sure.
Different. Doesn't have to be long. We can do whatever. I mean, just be whatever. No time limit. We never have a time limit. I mean, look at our episodes. Some of them are 20. Some of them are an hour, 2 hours.
Yeah. And that's sort of what I was like going into with that. I was like, I don't know what we're going to talk about. I don't know. And we just sort of bounced shit off each other for,
we just woke up and said,
40
okay,
minutes
let's
or
do
whatever,
this.
probably more, 50 or something. I looked at the timer. I was like, we've been talking for a while just about random shit.
Yep. So I told you before we actually kicked this shit off, I was going to put you on the spot, and I put you on the spot numerous times, but this is the one. 4. This is number 4. This is number 4 now, but this is the one that I meant that I wanted to put you really put you on the fucking spot one. Do you remember your top 10 list of favorite munchies?
Asking me about myself.
Do you remember, or do you remember any of them? You know what I'm saying? Do you remember all your stuff?
Just off the top of my head, things come up with what do you have like a list there, or do you remember?
I remember mine.
No, I think I was talking about this.
I have my list because I wrote it.
And I think pizza, like baked goods and
I could
stuff.
actually pull yours up, I think, because you know how our show, our recordings here, if y'all don't, it takes AI notes for us. So it records everything we say. And so one of these lists, I definitely have it somewhere. So go on.
Still have some of my lists from before, but some of my
back
notes.
to your notes. I
know,
don't know.
somewhere around here. In case I need to come back to it for all these hot seat questions about my life.
See,
That
put you on the spot. Gotta get that spotlight to shine a little bit brighter right down on top of you.
Well, no, and we had it's something I like that we do. I think most episodes we talk about sort of like our personal lives, but not in like a way too deep way, but just like some of our experiences.
Just enough to give a taste.
Yeah. Because that was in here, I think, episode 25.
No, wait, before we go, you never told me your list, though. You tried to move on and get away from this.
But the whole list.
See, I'm just asking, you did it in an order. See, I just said no particular order. I remember that. So what was your number one? Do you remember your number one? So you're trying to get away from it. We're trying to move on to something else. So we got to go back. We got to go back to this whole munchie thing because I got some questions about the list, really. I want to talk about this for a minute. Because I have mine. I remember, do you remember what I said about plain ass buttered toast? Come on. Who had done some plain? Or pizza.
I think we both said pizza.
I had Nerdy Nuts. Do you remember Nerdy Nuts peanut butter? Peanut butter with apples. That's what I had, the peanut butter with the apples. Nerdy Nuts.
Yeah.
Or pizza rolls. I think we both had pizza rolls. Do you have pizza rolls? I don't know if you have pizza rolls.
Or bagel bites.
But nachos with all the fixings. Onions, tomatoes, peppers, sour cream, guac, hot sauce. All that shit, bro. All that. Remember we talked about making a feast. But now,
we did.
So now that it's been a few months, what I want to ask you is, now that it's been a few months, is there anything that you would add now to that? Any new munchies you found lately? Any new,
honestly,
cravings you've had lately?
The first time, but I had one of these recently, and I was just like, "This is one of the best food." Yeah, of course, only enhanced with marijuana, but a Monte Cristo sandwich.
Really?
With like some jam, some syrup.
There used to be a place here in Frederick that had one of those before they shut. That's been changed names many times, but it was Bennigan's. You remember Bennigan's?
I had a Monte Cristo at Bennigan's. It was one of the best ones I've ever had.
You'd never
I've had some
again.
less quality ones other than that, but the Bennigan's one. I was like, that's.
Let me tell you a story about Bennigan's. I had a buddy that worked at Bennigan's. And this wasn't here. This was in Charleston, West Virginia, when Bennigan's was back there. And it was like rush hour, not rush hour for the restaurant industry, you know what I mean? Like evening time or whatever. And it was in rush. This is back when Bennigan's was like first, became that restaurant everybody wanted to go to, you know what I'm saying? Like when it was big, and it was in the mall. If that tells you anything, and everybody wanted to go to the mall at the point in time. So anyway, busy mall season. It's the holiday season. It's funny because it's this time of year, and he is just a line cook or some shit, right? But apparently a light went out that was above the deep fry shit, which I guess commercially is pretty fucking large, right? And so a guy went up on a ladder while they're in rush, doing all the kitchen stuff to change it, and the guy fell, and his leg, only one leg, went into the deep fryer, and came right out, right? But he still melted fucking skin. The cook or chef or whoever was back there went to the manager and said, "Here's what happened. We need to shut it down. Do it." He said, "No, keep it going," and they left it in there the rest of the fucking night. Yeah.
That's not cool.
Because they said it wasn't that bad. Yeah.
I mean, the bottom of his shoe, I guess, would have had to go in there, and who knows what the hell kind of, get.
Brother, what kind of crazy fucking stories happen at restaurants? Like, I don't even want to know, what half the shit that goes on at half these places that they don't tell us.
My wife used to work at the...
I guarantee you people that work in the restaurant industry can hear.
Forget what it was called. It's celebrity chef, a guy, Brian Voltaggio. She used to work at his restaurant, and she would just tell me, people would just go offer her just all sorts of drugs, and they all go out to 2 a.m. every night, and, little, kind of incestuous with all the people dating each other, and then they break up, they date someone else, and there's drama, and so I was like, I don't know if that's an environment I could sustain.
Here you go. At Cynthia Crow said, watching Paul be put on the spot, his facial expressions are hilarious. I need to put you on the spot some more then.
All the episodes are a little hazy, but some of the details.
moving on from the Munchies episode, go with what you were just talking about. Do you remember?
Yeah, well, I was still saying something about episode 25, where
And episode
it was some of
25
our first.
was what? It was our background. That's when we did our background.
Right. So like I said, we do it every show and a little bit stuff, but that was like very kind of I think you had said something about like pulling back the veil, and I think that was that episode. And I was like that's kind of cool.
Funny
Like
you
I don't
actually remember that actual
I remember that little detail, yeah.
detail.
Because I thought it was cool.
But you can't
like,
remember your top 10 Munchies list.
I know.
But you remember me saying pulling back the veil.
I know. I have a weird like trivia mind where like I can remember the most random, pointless stuff on my own list. I'm just like, ooh, I remember a few things.
Yeah,
we're not out here telling our life stories, but we are like trying to be relatable and not just being this robot.
Be personable, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So
I think we strike a nice balance
enough
with that.
To keep you wanting a little bit more.
Exactly.
Right? Something like that. When you came on though, bro, we actually I mentioned earlier, but we brought back God, I can't even talk. We brought back a couple past guests that you weren't involved with before. So like Larry Grover, Matthew Brockmeyer. So you got to hear them for the first time, and I got to gain some new insights from each of them. Larry, dude, Larry Grover is just a truly inspirational guy though, right? I mean, getting paralyzed, overcoming that by pushing your limits and starting a business, from something you have a passion for. He doesn't let anything hold him down. So that's definitely inspirational.
Such a nice guy. And I was trying to strike a balance of like not have him like reintroduce himself to me because I wasn't here for the first episode with him, but just a really great guy. Really knows his stuff. Such a hard worker. He was really cool to talk to.
And Matthew, like I said, he's from Humboldt County, California. He's got an author. I mean, he's got his own murder podcast, so he has stories upon stories upon stories.
You ever listen to his? I put his on from time to time.
Yeah, I've listened to a few. Yeah. Him and what's her name? I always forget her name.
I had listened to the early
right over. She's from here. Like, it's not here, but like Connecticut or somewhere. Like somewhere close.
Northeast.
But the guest dude, I mentioned it earlier, but I think we brought back one guest that really changed the game for both the community and for HLC.
For sure.
His tutor.
That's the man.
He came back, man. He gave us an update on High 9. Shout out High 9 at Drink High 9. Also announced that in October, I think it was the very first episode of October, they'd be the new show sponsor. So Franz and his team, again, have truly became, part of the High Level Chronicles family. And of course, I can't mention them without letting everyone know you can save 20% off your order, free shipping with code Level Up. Just go right on their website, anything you want.
Official drink of the pod, man. And then I usually have one episode.
Dude, they're delicious. And they're the perfect, they're not made to get, that's why I have conversations with people a lot on a lot of the Facebook groups I'm in about, they're not made to get you high. That's not the point of them. Not at all. It's made to get you just focused and, get you feeling, just good. You know what I mean? Feel good. Just drink it. Right? That's the saying. Just drink it.
Okay.
But, one of the episodes recently, man, we talked about some deep thoughts. You remember that one? Are we living in a simulation?
The purpose of life.
Yeah, it was like are we someone else's players in a video game with this thing called life? Why are we here? What is the point of existence?
Did we all die in 2012? And we're just in a simulation now?
It's very, very possible. Very, very possible.
Shit's been really weird since 2015, man. I don't mean to dwell on it, but
especially with everything that happened over like the fucking drones. Like, what are all these drones everywhere that nobody can explain? And dude, like, what the fuck is going on out there?
Man, I tell you, man, I see some. I live right by a park.
CEOs get murdered and people raving about the guy doing it, calling him a hero and fucking vigilante. I mean, I'm just saying, this country's fucked. But you know what makes it better?
Here's to you, sir. Trying to make sense of all the craziness out there,
Did Luigi really do it?
Oh, are the conspiracy theories already out?
That's the question right now. did Luigi do it? Did Luigi really do it?
Well, here's the thing. Everyone has seen the video. They obviously cut it off before he actually shoots him. But, he stands in that, what looks to be like a professional pose. The gun jams and he, unjams it, which is not normal.
Did it jam?
Jammed 3 times. Yeah.
You sure about that?
That's what they say.
Mm.
Or did he just break out those shell casings of defend, oppose?
Well, everybody thought he was using. So everybody thought he was using a what was the name of that gun? A Station 6, which is a single shot pistol. You have to rack it every time, and it has a built-in silencer on it. That's what everybody thought he used. But if you listen to what they say they found, which it still doesn't make sense why this guy would go from New York to some random place in Pennsylvania, McDonald's, and have all this shit with him still, but. It was like
because he doesn't seem all that professional.
Right.
If you're leaving prints on the gun,
now they're saying it was a Glock and a homemade silencer. That's why then it makes sense that it would be jamming, because it's not really fucking made. You're probably not even using subsonic, ammo as it is. So I don't know. The eyebrows. Have you seen those pictures with the eyebrows?
No. Is there different?
Look it up. Completely different.
His mugshot and the little bit you could see.
Bro, in his mugshot, he's got a fucking, what do you call that? A unibrow. But in the video, he ain't got no fucking, he's clean. It's a fucking manicured fucking eyebrow. This dude ain't got no manicured fucking eyebrows.
So that's the theory, is that they can't find the guy because he was a professional. So they pin it on this Luigi character.
So I don't know. Like I said,
at one point heard it was a veterinary gun. They like try and put him down like an animal or something.
Today, or the FBI director resigned.
I heard that. Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't think he has friends in the new administration. So
yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah. So now that
he might be,
he's resigning the last day of the Biden administration, I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
Announced that today, which not that much longer anyway. And then our last one was the time traveling one, right?
The last episode.
I think so.
Philosophers, kings, and cannabis. Hell yeah.
Talked about Woodstock and the Middle Ages, the Renaissance, and all this fun people to smoke up with.
Yeah, that was the episode that I gave my infamous speech that you claimed was the best one you've ever heard given.
For the founding of the country. Yes, absolutely. I stand by that 100%. Because we don't really do a lot of scripted stuff. But you're like, I had to write this one down.
Yeah, that was scripted. I was just going back to look at it, the script, because that's one I had actually written out. I gave it my all, too. I gave it my all for that. That was the last episode. Y'all go check it out. I gave about if we were able to smoke with the founding fathers and be there while they were given the, man, should I redo that right now? Should I redo it for everybody? No, I can't do that. No, I do have it right in front of me right now. Should I do it? Should I do it live? We got a lot of viewers. No, you have to go back and watch the episode.
I gotta watch it.
Yeah, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. But I will say, it was a smoke-filled room in Philadelphia, 1787. Smell of parchment. Nah, I'm gonna stop right there. You have to go back and watch the episode.
Yeah,
go back and watch it. It was fun. So I gotta say, after the recap, I'm gonna go back to the beginning of this episode to say that the title of episode 1 was fitting. A Journey Begins. I know you weren't in it from the jump, bro, but you're here now. We've had a ton of changes and growth. It's been a journey that I have loved every step of, and we can't wait to see what 2025 brings to the High Level family. So if it's half as good as 2024, we are set for an epic fucking year. You know what I'm saying?
I love watching the community grow. The episodes are always I hope people enjoy listening or watching them as much as I enjoy making them with you, and I'm excited for the next year and what it brings.
Absolutely. If you all have topics that you want us to hit in 2025, hit us up. Favorite social media at HLC Podcast 420. Hit us up on our website at highlevelchronicles.com. Any last words, bro?
Ho ho ho.
You heard it. Ho ho ho. With that,
hope everyone has a great Christmas. Holidays.
Now you're going to actually say some last words.
Yeah.
Should I put you on the spot one last time?
You've done it so much. What's one more?
What was the title of our last episode?
Didn't you
I just told
say
you? Yeah, but what was it?
Kings and Emperors.
No, I'll ask you one more time. What was the title of our last episode?
Don't have that on my list. It was just time traveling.
Philosophers, Kings, and Cannabis.
Kings and Cannabis.
With that, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, stay safe. We will see you in 2025. As always, stay leveled up. We are out.
Thanks for listening to High Level Chronicles.